Hi there. Yeah, it's been a while. How are you doing? Yeah, just want to do a little bit of breakdown of some cool song I made from my Winterlust EP. You should listen to it if you haven't. It's very cool. I'm very happy with it. This song, Unspooling, is one of those weird ones that takes a little bit of a turn and in the project, and yeah, a very shoegaze wall of sound kind of turn, which is always appreciated when I hear that. And I think for me, whenever I come across something shoegazy, I feel kind of intimidated by it. I also feel in awe of it. Like I don't know how it's being made. It feels larger than life, and I'm always curious to see the behind the scenes of it. And I feel like a lot of the times it's a lot simpler than people think, than what I think at least. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a window into how I made unspooling. And with unspooling, there's no guitars used in this song, and I think that's really interesting as far as a shoegaze track goes. I feel like part of a category of shoegaze is that it needs to have those guitars, and it's like written into the name where we have people stepping on pedals, guitar pedals during live performances to create that wall of sound. And now we've kind of reached a day and age where a lot of the music we're making is not live and is on a DAW, and you can create the sounds not just without a guitar, but without a MIDI guitar. You don't even need that. And I realized that I was trying to like tinker around and make shoegaze without having to use a guitar. And I thought that was a really fun experiment. I just wanted to show you how it went. So yeah, I mean, just to jump into it, these are the kind of main chords that we're working with here. Just for the piano, I have one layer playing an interval, and then the second layer playing the higher tone here. So we have this here, right? It's just like a fifth. It's an A and E. And then this top one is playing, I believe, the 11th, which was a crazy choice, but I thought that was a really cool chord. So it's like an A 11th, and then it resolves to the E while playing. It's like an E6. And then this wonderful chord, which I don't even know the name of, a really cool sound I made, is so simple. It's just this. I love this. It's such a simple percussive element, but I love it so much. It's me clicking my trackpad. So the mic is picking up me clicking my trackpad, and I think it's a really just subtle percussive element that is foreshadowing a larger percussive section. And I really like that, and I found that really fun because I've been hearing that all the time when I have like when I'm recording vocals and I still have my feedback on, or well, I forgot the monitoring on, and I just keep hearing myself like clicking, and I found that, oh, why don't I just incorporate that into the song? It's like a tap dripping water. It's very fun, very sad as well. It kind of feels like emulates that level of like that pathetic state that the song is in. I think that's really cool. Another beautiful, wonderful sound I have here is this. But before we get there, I just want to introduce the complexity that's been going on in the piano. Yeah, very fun. So we have this rhythm, like this rhythmic piano here, but it's being interrupted by this main piano that we have. So it creates a really like staggered like I think that's really cool and kind of a serendipitous thing. Ooh, like that's so fun. Love that. But let's go to the main event here. Just this sound. This is one of my favorite sounds, and wow, let me crank it up for you, because my goodness. Sheesh. so good. I might have permanently messed up my mix there, but that's okay. But yeah, such a beautiful sound. It's just the retro vibe synth, the stock synth from GarageBand. But yeah, if I take off all the effects here, you'll just have this. Yeah, it's the main sound. Kind of annoying, kind of cool though, still. Then I have my tape mellify, which just warbles it, gives it a tape effect, and detunes it slightly every now and then. Chorus, just to mess with the frequency widening. And then I have my channel EQ, which is just has a little bit of bass kick up here. That like really adds some body there. And then finally, a really cool thing we have here is this thing called Magic Dice. Magic Dice is a really cool, I think, creative tool where you just it kind of randomizes the echo and reverb effects of any given sound you put it on. And I think it's a really cool, fun effect for you to play around and yeah, use reverb and delay in a way you wouldn't have. And yeah, this happened to, you just kind of click through it. You can save the preset, you can adjust the presets as you like. And in terms of the intensity, as you can see, it's a little cranked up on mine. But yeah, I think it's a really cool tool and something that, yeah, I would recommend. It's just a really fun thing. And I'd recommend using it on drums. I think it's a really cool way of like messing around with different rhythms, finding out different pockets. In this case, it's just used for the synth. And yeah, you can hear it. There's just a distance to it compared to like this feels very close. And then suddenly it's like in another room, someone's like transcending. There's like light emanating in the house across you. I think that's really cool. It kind of gives the same energy if when you hear the the electric car start reversing, and you're like, is this the rapture? So I think that's really cool, and I think that's a good addition to music. Definitely another goal I have is just to sample an electric car reversing. I think that's a beautiful sound. You hear that difference? That was cool. Oh, yeah, and something really stuttery going on is just this. I created a layer. I don't know where it is now, but it's just a choir effect, or this might have just been a loop, and I just messed with it a little bit. I crunched it down, and then I just looped it. Okay, well, it's automated. Sorry. Yeah, I should hear it here. Yeah, it's very jagged and choppy, but I think it's really cool. And it's just panned all the way to the right. And yeah, we just have some very simple drums here. I think this just gives it a little bit of like a, a footing in terms of, oh, this is shoegaze. Otherwise, if I had electronic drums, well, it is electronic, but if I had like, you know what I mean, like electronic drum machine sounds, that would be a little bit harder to like kind of sell the shoegaziness of it. I think it's definitely possible, but I wanted to make it sound a lot more traditionally shoegaze while still incorporating some very new techniques. So that's what those drums are. And now the big drop's coming. Big drop coming. All right, let's let it drop. Very cool. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So first we have our piano. It was very timid and quiet here. Now we have introducing some of the body of what we have this like fake guitar sound. First we have this bass, this saw synth that has just been cranked to hell. Ooh. Yup. Yeah, very MGMT. I'm now realizing. I think that's a really cool, like time to pretend kind of bass. Um, and yeah, it just has a bunch of, and oh, it doesn't have much. It just has like a fuzz filter on it, and just as well as an amp designer. And the main sound is just this, which was already cool, but I wanted to sound like it was coming through an amp. So we have that. Next, something really interesting that I kind of happened upon late into this song, was a saxophone from Decent Sampler. Shout out Decent Sampler. I know it crashes like 1,000 times a day, but I think it's a really cool resource. And anyone that doesn't know of Decent Sampler or the YouTube channel that's attached to it, I think they're really, really cool. And shout out them for finding weird instruments and finding even standard instruments and just making them accessible to everyone. So this is a sax. Very nice. Oh, got a little pitch modulation there. And that's to create the waves, right? So you'll hear it in context. So like that, right? Just a little bit of pitch modulation just to like, oh, here it comes again. Boom. I think that's really cool and something I love hearing in shoegaze as well. Um, and I don't hear that much of it. I think the wall of sound can be cool, but just adding a little bit of textural and harmonic variation, just a tad, just can make it really like kind of make it feel a little more fluid. I think that's really fun. And then I think this is one of the main guitar sounds here. Yup. And then paired with the other sounds. So this makes up the guitar sound. Sorry, not the sax, just this. Ooh, very cool. Guess what this is? This is a violin. It's a violin with a bunch of guitar amps on it. So we have yeah, just the fuzz filter, same as the saw synth and the amp designer. It's just the same kind of plugins, but attached to a violin instead of a synth. And what you get is a really cool, yeah, like shoegazy guitar sound without the guitar. And yeah, I think that's really cool. Same sounds going out, you know, got to get that continuity. And yeah, and then the drums have again very straightforward drums. I want to keep it as like grounded as possible, so we're not, too far away from shoegaze. So we just have our basic, very simple. We just got a crash spammed out in the back. Yeah, mind-blowing stuff. You wouldn't believe it. And maybe some people are curious about my vocal chain, but as you've seen in the past, if you have, it's terribly simple, and it's really funny how simple it is. Once again, it's just an EQ with that. Um, but it's hey, if it ain't broke. Let me check what this sound is. I'm kind of curious on what's going on here. Oh, it's just my vocals. I'm silly. Sorry. Yeah, I like that it cuts off. I like cut myself off with my own music. That's really funny. Yeah, like I tried it both ways. I tried like this is an expanded thing. Um, I tried it both ways, and it's just not nearly as impactful if I'm not getting interrupted by my own sound. And it just drowns me out completely instead of just a little bit. So I think that was an effective decision. Musically, an effective decision, emotionally impactful. But yeah, so that's the vibe. That's really it. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. And if you haven't listened to the song, please do. I'm very happy with it. I'll link it below, or maybe not. Maybe I'm too lazy or something. And yeah, thank you for being here. And yeah, best of luck on whatever you're doing. If you're working on music, which maybe you are, I'm wishing you the best. Send me your EP, send me your album, send me all your music. I'll listen to all of your music. I'm very, very happy and curious to do so. I hope you got some cool insight into how a shoegaze song can also not include guitars or even fake guitars for that matter. It can have violins and saxophones